fifth episode of Birkenwasser Knits. In this episode I'm gonna talk about my latest pattern release, the Arctic Blizzard socks, and then as usual I'm gonna show what I've been working on in the past week and what I'm gonna be working on in the following week. But let's start with this Arctic Blizzard sock pattern. So in the previous episode I talked about the Tour de Sock competition, so you already know what that is about. And yeah, stage 4 started on last Friday morning, and this time it was my turn to be the designer for that pattern. And yeah, so I designed this stranded knitting pattern for the competition. So it's a snowflake pattern. It's it's quite a bit of stranded knitting. It has just this random snowstorm or blizzard, as the name goes, and yeah. The idea is that you have just one chart, or well, two. You have the back and front separately, but basically just one chart from toe to cuff, and yeah. So the socks are worked toe up, and you start from the toe, and then you just continue until it's time to make the heel. It's a short row heel, so you can just place it whenever is convenient, and then you continue with the stranded knitting chart once you're done with the heel. And then you just, once you're done with the chart, then you just add the cuff. And as I designed this pattern with the competition in mind, so the charts are different size there are 3 sizes in the pattern. And the charts are also different size in not only in their width but also in their length. So the smallest size has the longest chart, and then the largest size has the shortest chart. So the area of the stranded knitting is the same for all sizes. And then of course the length of the leg depends on where you place the heel. So basically for the smallest sizes you will have the longest leg, but of course depends on where your heel is, so how much you have left then for the leg. And if you need to adjust the size, then you can just knit the cuff longer, or then there was also one question if maybe you add some stockinette stitch before the cuff, and that's also fine, but then I just recommended that you also add some stockinette after the toe, so it stays balanced looking. Yeah, but it's been really amazing to see so many people knit from my pattern, and so many people have commented so positively about the pattern, so thank you, that really means a lot to me. And it's been so nice to see all the different colors of snowflakes that you can think of. So not everyone knitted these boring white snowflakes on blue type of socks. There have been pink and orange and I don't know what, all kinds of colors for the socks. So please visit the pattern page on Ravelry and check out the projects to see some really lovely color combinations for the socks, and also really lovely socks. Yeah, and what else can I say about the pattern? Yeah, one thing that many people commented is that the short row heel can be a little bit difficult if you need more room for your heel, so there's no gusset, and then also combining that with stranded knitting means that if you are knitting tight and there are rather long floats in this pattern, then you might have a hard time getting the sock on, as the stranded knitting and the floats are not as stretchy as your regular stockinette stitch or whatever. But some people have managed to overcome this problem by adding a small gusset, so So they have added a gusset and just added random dots with the contrast color yarn, so you can't even tell where the gussets are located, or even with larger gussets they have even added complete snowflakes, so it's easy to just copy a part of the pattern, pick up a snowflake and place that on whatever stitches you are adding for the gusset. And then one thing that many knitters have also applied is the ladder back checkered technique. So that means that you will add stitches in CC color on wrong side. So what I have done here is that I have simply yeah, it's like your regular stranded knitting wrong side, and I just wrap the CC yarn around the main color whenever the longs were getting the floats were getting too long. So that's one thing you can do, but then yeah, that ladder back checkered technique gives you a more stretchy fabric, so that's also worth considering if you'd like to knit these socks. Yeah, and as I mentioned in the previous episode, so the Tour de Sock is a charity event, and it benefits Doctors Without Borders. So in that spirit, I wanted to also give the buyers of the pattern an opportunity to choose if they wish to donate to Doctors Without Borders. Then I will give them a discount for the pattern. So you can check the pattern page for details on how that works. And yeah, it's been nice to see so many people who have purchased the pattern have chosen to donate to Doctors Without Borders. So that's of course the main thing about the competition, is to raise money for a good cause. Yeah, but there's still time to knit on Tour de Sock. So this stage 4 ends on Monday. I think it's Helsinki time. It's 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. is the beginning of the next stage. So that's, I know what I'm going to be knitting on starting Monday. Then I can compete again. Of course, in this round I couldn't compete. And I was thinking that I'd really like to knit another pair, because this is my sample pair and it's too small for me. So I just, when I knit my samples, I knit them small enough to fit these extra legs. But my feet are not this small, so I was thinking I'd like to make another pair for myself. But I'm not as fast knitting stranded as the many competitors have been. So it would take me so much time to knit another pair that I'm not sure if I'm up to it. And actually my spouse was amazed when, I think it was Saturday afternoon, so it was the pattern, no, it was Friday afternoon, obviously, yeah, the pattern was released on Friday morning at 8 a.m. Helsinki time, and the first ones were ready on Friday evening. So my spouse just looked at me amazed and asked, how long did you knit that pair? And it did take some time. And actually, the way that actually this design took quite some time to prepare. I originally had the idea for this sock maybe 2 or 3 years ago, so I already drew a picture in my notebook that this is the idea that I'd like to do. And then last winter, when I saw that Tour de Sock was looking for patterns for this summer's competition, then I immediately thought of this idea and thought that that would be a good, challenging but nice pattern for the competition. And I think I knit half of one sock for my proposal, and just send in the proposal and the chart and the picture of the finished, or the picture of the drawing of a finished sock. And then when I heard that my pattern was chosen, I finished the sock that I had knitted or already started. And then I wrote the pattern and took pictures with just one sock, and then I had it in testing with the pictures of one sock. And And then I thought that, okay, I'll have time to knit my second sock, and then I can still take pictures when there's snow outside, and I can have this, I don't know, Arctic blizzard look also in the pictures. But I was so slow at knitting these that I could see that the snow was starting to melt. It was March, and usually, yeah, the snow melts in Helsinki by the end of March. And I was still knitting, and I was thinking that this can't be true. Then I'll have pictures of one sock in the snow, and then I'll have to take pictures of the two socks somewhere without snow. But then I finished the sock, and on April 2nd we had a snowstorm in Helsinki, and it was amazing because usually we don't get snow that late, but we did, and I just immediately took my socks and ran to the forest to take some pictures. And if you look at the pictures, you can see that it's actually snowing when I took the pictures. So that was really a great coincidence. So I was happy that we got snow in April. Yeah. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to show you. Let me just put the sock back on the foot. Like I said, I wanted the socks to have a random blizzard kind of look, so you can see that the socks are not the same, so they are different. And I didn't want to draw two different charts, so what I thought is that I'll just knit the other sock upside down. So then you can see that actually it's the same pattern. You just knit one from the one chart from the bottom up, and then the second from the top down, or you just flip the chart. But you need to be careful when you flip the chart, because you also need to switch the back and front chart. So you need to, for the second sock, you need to flip the chart upside down, and then you need to knit the back first and then front, because the pattern continues around the sock. So you can see there's no side seam. You can see where the pattern ends, because it doesn't, it goes around the sock. So that's one option. But then also one of the mods for the competition noticed that you can also get a different sock if you just place a heel on the opposite sides. So you can knit two socks from with the chart or the same direction from the bottom of the chart to the top, and then just knit one heel on the front and one heel on the back, and that will also give you the same random snowflake look. But of course you can just knit two of the same. It's still pretty random snowy look. In the previous episode I think I showed you the stage 3 socks. So this is the Bicycle Race by Heidi Nick, and yeah, it actually took me longer than I thought it would, and that's why I hadn't finished by the deadline, and I was thinking that I'm gonna just finish them the last night. But then I also knew that, okay, I could have stayed up and knit until 8 AM, but I also knew that my pattern would be out on Friday morning, and then I just decided that I'm gonna need to sleep because I want to be ready to answer any questions or anything if needed. So I decided that I'm just gonna knit these while stage 4 is going on, because I won't be competing on stage 4 with my own pattern anyway. So I'm almost done. If you can see that I'm making these for myself, so if I made these the size of my extra legs, then they would be already done, but I'm adding some length so my own feet will fit into this sock. But it's a really pretty sock, as you can see. So there's the beads and some cables, and yeah. But this is also a pattern that takes some effort to knit, but I think it's really worth it. So I'll be finishing these in yeah, I hope maybe tonight already. Yeah, but I guess that's about it for this time. So my next project will begin on Monday, as it's going to be the stage 5 in Tour de Sock, so I'll be starting a new project then. But until then I'll finish these socks, and I do have a couple of other whips also, so I think I'll have enough to knit anyway. But thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and you won't miss the next episode. In the next episode I will talk about my summer top by Ankestrick. So I finished that, so I'm going to show you how that turned out, and I'm also going to show you my new design that I'm working on, so that's also going to be interesting. So please subscribe so you won't miss the next episode, and see you next week. Bye!